Alright, so for the logic of our phone number validator, as I said, this is only for UK phone numbers. If you want to test for wider numbers, go ahead and use a phone number validator library. I think there's one from Google which is quite good, to be honest. So I wouldn't recommend you to implement your own phone number validator, but as I said, I want to show you exactly how test-driven development works. So right here, let's go ahead and simply say that. So right here, we want to make sure that the phone number, so instead of S, this will be phone number, right? So I want to make sure that the phone number, so phone number dot and then starts with, right? So starts with plus and then 44, and I think I'm just going to leave it there, right? So I think this will be a good building block, right? So I'm going to say if, and then phone number starts with that, right? So I'm going to return and then true, otherwise false, right? I could actually inline this or simply say return and then remove that, and basically this is the exact same thing, right? So now let's go back to the actual test, right? So let's go back to the test, and if I pretty much just run this, you see this works, right? So now what I want to make sure also is, so let's say that this is like plus 42, right? So if I run this, you should see that the phone actually the test fails, right? So it is false. So let me go back, right? And I also want to make sure that, so right here, and right, and phone number dot and then length equals to 13, right? And that with semicolon, and let me put this on a new line so you see exactly everything, right? So now if I run this, you can see that it still passes. So now let me go ahead and pretty much just add another character there, and then there we go. You can see that it fails, right? Because the phone number right here, so the phone number has 14 characters. So there we go. So you see that this was very trivial, but obviously this logic right here is lacking lots of things, right? So we want to make sure, for example, there is only digits, right? So we're not checking for that, but I want to keep it super simple, so you see the entire process, right? So now I could go ahead and pretty much just grab all of this, right? And then right here, should validate phone number when incorrect. And here, let's simply, add a random number there, and basically, so this now is false, right? So we're testing here, or actually isn't correct, and has length bigger than than 13, right? So we could actually use this annotation, so at and then display, can't type today, so at display name, and basically now you could have bigger than 13, right? Should fail when length is and then bigger than 13. And there we go. So now we could take this and then right here, so let's remove that, and this will be so basically it doesn't have the plus sign when does not start with plus, when does not start with plus, and then sign, right? So now we can go ahead and run every single test in this test class. So run, just give it a second, and you can see that we have 3 tests that did pass. So there we go. So this is a taste of test-driven development, right? So obviously, if you were to let's say now you want to say that you know, there is an extra thing here, or let's simply say that, for example, you changed your mind and now it should start with, for example, this, right? So 0 plus 4, 4, and then 45, right? So now if I run the test, this should fail. You see that we have 2 that actually did work, but there is 1 which failed. So this is the actual happy path, right? Because the starts with is different. So this is actually the actual full cycle, right? So you change, you refactor, you make it pass, so on and so forth. So this is actually test-driven development. Now let me go back, and I think the logic is not what I want. I'm just going to leave it like that, and this is all for this video. So next I want to show you exactly how you are going to be able to condense all of this into one single test and have parameters into your test, which I think is much neater.